everybody, and welcome to the prepper version of Photography Talk. As you can see, this time I'm not in my usual set. I'm here near this fireplace, and there's a reason. The reason is very simple. First of all, not being in my set, I cannot show my books as usual and this kind of thing, so please, if you like the channel, please subscribe, share with your friends and put a like. And if you want to do something more, I don't show you my books, but you can always go down in the description, click the link and see the books that you can buy to support the channel. I'm in this set for a very simple reason. Last week I checked the kerosene for my heating system and I miscalculated the couple of days. So I was supposed to receive the new kerosene tomorrow, and it ended this morning. And it's Sunday, so nobody can bring it right now. So I decided to do this photography talk because I was sitting here near the fireplace and I was thinking about technology and how much we rely on technology. I can sit here by this fireplace and warm up the room with this fire because this house was designed by my parents. And they were old enough that they were teenagers. My father was actually almost 20 when World War II ended. My mother was just 4 years younger. And they had the experience of a moment in life absolutely without technology. And when they built a house, they decided to put chimneys in almost every room, so to be ready in case there was a need for wooden stoves or other things like that. And in this room they put a fireplace, and the idea was if something happened, at least we have the fireplace. We always had some wood down in the garage, and we can just survive without problems, as I'm doing today. That is without not even a lot of discomfort. I'm without the heating system in the full of winter. So this is the main reason. And I was sitting here and I was thinking, photographically, are we ready to live without all the technology we are used to? Do we use too much technology? In the last days there was, for example, this Chinese balloon going over the USA, and someone was saying it can be an electromagnetic pulse bomb, and that can cancel the grid and all the electricity in the USA. And if something like that happens, are you still able to do what you love, that is photography? Will I be still able to do what I love, that is photography? In the last year, since the beginning of all the mess in Ukraine, I started to think, what if something happened again and we go in World War III? And for that reason, I started to test alternative processes that now are called alternative process, but actually were the process at the beginning of photography, so I tried Van Dyke, I tried to create wet plates and all these kind of things, because I wanted to be able to create a sensitive material, a negative and a print, also without electricity, without technology. In the same way, I'm used to film photography, so I have a bunch of film in my storage and I can use them. But for example, with digital photography, all is good, but if you are without power, at a certain point you are without power on your camera. You have some batteries, but then it's gone. And mentally, probably it will be gone in 2 hours, because you will go around taking a lot of pictures with the digital mentality. So that's the kind of problem. And I don't know, am I the only one thinking these kind of things and having fun trying some processes? For example, I tested the Caffenol as a developer that can be easily made with coffee and something that you can find very easily around. So it's something that can be used in an emergency. I didn't like it too much for normal use, but for an emergency is absolutely fantastic. And so that's my kind of thinking is, do we rely too much on technology? And I mean it in two ways. The first one is the practical way, because we need, for example, the electricity, the batteries, and these kind of things. But there's another way. I have a lot of friends, and I have some people following this channel. They go out and also if they should film, they will still use the smartphone as an exposure meter on those kind of things. And a lot of people is no more able to guess the exposure. Is not that difficult if you start with the Sunny 16 rule and you get used. It's very easy to learn. You just go out, look at the sheen and think, okay, this can be, I don't know, 1/25th of a second f16, and you check with your exposure meter, your camera, and you see if you were correct or not. And in this way you learn yourself to estimate what is the correct exposure for a shade. So that can be a mental preparation, and it's not different for what we have every day in your life. In our life, we really rely that much on technology. If you think cars right now, they are pushing the electric cars and these kind of things. You must be connected and have a center that decide what to do with your car. It's not something that you can just turn it on and go out, and if there are some problems you can try to fix it yourself. But we can think about people not able anymore to do simple math operation by mind, by hand. It's something that are you able to do simple division with your hands. And in the case, I don't know, for me it was always a point to do the things without the help of the technology. And then I use the technology, I love the technology, but I want to be able to still survive without the technology. And photographically, it is exactly the same. And I was thinking this already when every time there's a kind of natural disaster around. If you think, for example, for Florida, a place I really love, every summer there's a problem with some hurricanes, and there are areas that stay without electricity for days. If you think Texas had the problem of the grid shutting down last year for the cold, and the same things happen in Europe and in other places. So at the moment you look at the news and you think, for example, when it was freezing in Texas and they had this problem, was how they can have people die for that. Why you live in a place where this can happen and you don't have a simple fireplace in your house. And I think, I say a real fireplace, not the one that you have the remote control that needs electricity and the gas to turn it on, but a real fireplace with wood that you can collect just out of your door. And that's, for me, is kind of wrong. And the strange things, we have all these pushing far from the fossil fuel and all the energy and all these kind of things, and in the same time we have the same movements that push to use the technology even more, to depend on technology even more. And this is kind of crazy, and it is also in photography. And so I'm curious, do you know how to live photographically as an artist, to do what you love without the technology? I look at my grandparents, for example, and my parents in part, but my grandparents, they were already adults when the World War II arrived, and they were absolutely able to still enjoy life, not just to survive. They were able to cultivate their passion and still do what they loved. In a limited way, probably with a lot of difficulties, but they were still able to do it. And my thing is, are you able to do photography, and am I able to do photography if there will be no technology to support me? And that for me is a very important question. and I want to put myself in a situation where my answer is sure yes. But let me know what you think about this. Do you think I worry too much about that, or do you have the same worries, and are you doing something to be able to still continue your passion for photography if something goes wrong, and all these kind of things? I would love to hear in the comments your opinion about this matter. So this was a different video. It just came naturally to me, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I see you next time with some more normal videos about camera gears and digital and film, and talks about things that probably for you are much more interesting. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.